this is Kyle for Whiskey Words and Wisecracks, and we're here with episode 2 of round 1 of our Drunketology tournament, as we're calling it, where we're taking whiskeys between 90 and 107 proof. We're putting them on head-to-head, and we're going to come down to eventually a winner from 16 down to 1. And the little twist we're putting on in here, and I'm sure it's been done before, but not that I've seen, is I am not going to know who the winners are until the very end. I will just know who the winning whiskey is, and we're hoping to kind of find some value bourbons that maybe sneak through and do well to give folks some ideas of cheaper whiskeys they can buy, and maybe pick out some overrated ones on the way. So, which takes me back to week 1, and had a very interesting elimination in week 1, which was Blanton's, actually, surprisingly enough. And when we set this up with my wife, I told her that you got to rank them from 1 to 16 based on ones that I said I've liked, ones I said I didn't like, and kind of just rank them in that order. And Blanton's I like. It would probably, if I was ranking them, be the top 6, maybe something like that in that category. But I have always mentioned that I think it's a little overrated. So she put it kind of further down in the rankings. So what it did was it made it a very interesting comparison last week. A lot of fun, and I'm very anxious to see who beat Blanton's. So that'll be kind of fun as well. So Blanton's, bye-bye. All right, and we'll start with this week's bourbons here. This is, we're going to call this one A. We're going to call this one B, if that sounds all right, honey. The colors look identical. That's not helping me very much, so I'm going to go ahead and grab sample A here. Really your classic kind of copper amber bourbon color. Check out the legs on it here. That's flowing down pretty good. The legs are flowing down the glass pretty well on this one. I'm going to go in for a smell here. I'm getting vanilla and cherry on the nose on this one. Vanilla and cherry. Which is, I mean, a lot of these are going to be very common because they're all bourbon. So they're supposed to smell kind of similar. So we're going to have a lot of that, I'm sure. You're going to hear vanilla and cherry a lot. Oak. Give it another smell here. Definitely has a little ethanol in there when I go in for a little deeper sip. It's cherries, it's vanilla, and a little ethanol on this one. I'm gonna go in for a taste here. That's pretty smooth. Not getting a lot of rye on this one. If it is a rye bourbon, it's not a very high rye recipe, I wouldn't think. I'm going for another here. Little heat on that one, but yeah, it just goes down. It's very smooth, very easy drinking, I would describe this one as. A very easy drinking bourbon. I think that's a good way to describe it. The finish is a little bit of oak. I'm getting just a little oak on the finish, not a lot, I would say. Definitely warming me nice going down, which is good, which is kind of why we do this. Love that little feeling there. So yeah, it's just cherries. We got oak a little bit. We've got vanilla, and very smooth, very easy drinking. Very easy drinking whiskey right there. Going for a little water. One of my highfalutin pretzels, as you remember from last episode here. Get the palate cleaned up a little bit here. And I learned last week, this is not easy. I'm going to say again, the experts that do this, hats off to them. It's impressive because this is not easy to do. As you chomp the pretzel. This is the exciting part of the video here where I chew. I'm going to look at this next whiskey while maybe a hint darker. No, about the same. Oh, it's challenging me, honey. Thanks.
I've picked out 2 good ones again.
Our leg's a little slower on this one. It's a little more viscous, I think this one is. A little more oily. Going on the nose here. Good cherries again. A little more oak. There's a bit of a musty oak on this one. A little more oak on this one than this one, I'm definitely going to say. Again, the legs are kind of still dripping down, so I'm getting a little more, it looks like it's going to be a little more viscous than the other one. I'm going for another smell here. Oak and vanilla on that sip. Oak and vanilla. Again, they're going to be common, but they're all bourbon, so I guess we're going to have that. So I'm going for the taste on this one. Another smooth one. Not a lot of rye spice on either one of these, which is kind of, yeah, maybe a little more on this one, I'm thinking. Try this again. The finish on this one, it's a little more mouth coating, I think, on this one. Staying with me a little longer on this one. I'm going for another one. Yeah, just a nice, like I said, a little bit more oak is present on this one, I think. I'm guessing it's probably a little older, but I could be wrong. You know, I'm not an expert at this by any means. I'm going to have some more water and more pretzel and go back in and go back and try them again and see if anything changes here.
Good pretzel.
Very good pretzel. Everybody loves the part where I chew, I'm sure. Trying not to choke on camera, we wouldn't want to do that either.
Remember the first episode, we had a lot of pretzel talk.
There was a lot of pretzel talk in the first episode, yeah. For sure. We're doing pretzel reviews next, actually, so everybody get ready for that. It's going to be exciting. Going back, starting out with sample B this time. All right. Vanilla. Like I was cherry. I think I remember a little bit of cherry the first time I sipped it. Now I'm getting vanilla.
Banana.
Not getting any banana on this one, no. I don't get a lot of banana on these. I hear Jack Daniel's products, you get bananas, and we haven't bought any of those yet, actually, for the collection. So I'm sure one will be soon coming. All right, let's go in for a sip on this little rascal here.
And you said that's pretty smooth?
They're both smooth. Yeah, they're both very smooth. Both not a lot of rice spice, so this is tough once again. There's not anything really jumping out at me that can make, you know, I don't have good guesses for either one, I guess is what I'm saying, and that's, I guess, the fun of this. This is my palate and my challenge, and we'll see how it turns out, you know.
You're just picking which one you think tastes better.
Picking which one I think tastes better. This is not going to be easy. All right, water pretzel time. A little smaller bite of the pretzel that time to kind of, you know, take away from the chew time on the video here. It's the same color, right? Same color.
I wish I could say I planned all this, but I don't know. I know less than nothing.
I might too. I like the nose better on the nose better on this one, I think. Comes a little more. It's a little more easy to pick flavors on the nose. You get a little caramel on this one this time. Let me swirl it up a little bit. Yeah, getting a nice little bit of caramel on this one this time. Going for another sip. That is smooth. That is just, you like a smooth whiskey, whatever that says. I'd run out and get some of that. But there are things that that influence that too, what you ate before. Like my wife advised you not to have a yogurt before we came out here, because heaven forbid I'm not eating 24 hours a day. But she said, hey, yogurt and whiskey might influence it a little bit. So you got to keep that in mind, that what I ate before, what I didn't eat before, because I pretty much eat constantly. It definitely has a bearing on what you taste. So. Going back to this guy. Ooh, now I'm getting more oak on this one now. It's funny how it changes, and I remember the same thing from last time. It kind of changes a little bit as you go along. Winner.
Okay. We have a winner.
All right. I guess in this video, could we say what the loser is, since we're going to reference it next week anyway?
We can say what it is, yes. Okay. It is, ironically, and I wrote this on the sign, Heaven Hill 6-year, which you have not tried. I had to break the seal.
Right.
Yes,
right.
That is the loser.
That is this is a $12 bourbon in here, folks. And this is very good. I mean, I don't know what's on this card right here, but it gave it a battle. I'll tell you that right now. This is a very good whiskey for that price point. I'll tell you that right now. I think we found a value already, which is part of what we're doing here. So I think it might be available only in Kentucky, and I'll do some research next week. We'll have the bottle out here, and we'll talk about it like we did in Blanton's, but a little more detail on that, and we'll give you some information on that. And that's it, episode 2 of round 1, and I thank you very much.